Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and yeah, today we have released a really interesting collaboration video with Matt Parker, who wanted to consult us basically on whether a Sudoku puzzle could be solved by Sudoku people. Well, that sounds too glib. Whether a puzzle was able to be solved by Sudoku people given its similarity to Sudoku. And the video's up. I mean, it's really interesting. Do check it out. It's on our channel. And, you know, I think we gave Matt an answer. And it made for an interesting video as well. Now, the other collaboration video that was up recently was Simon's Solve with Dominic, who solved the March puzzle hunt and won the prize, which was to do a collaboration video with Simon. And Dominic did it very well. So do check that out. If you're interested in a similar prize, we are launching a new puzzle hunt on the 1st of May on Patreon. That's where they come out. And you just have to join Patreon for $2 a month to get access to that. And you could be in with a chance of that incredible prize. And we're doing the new oil and water hunt by Blobs, which is going to be fantastic. So that's coming on the 1st of May to Patreon, where you can already see solution videos to last month's April Foolery. You can see Simon's solve of the Cryptic crossword from 2 weeks ago, my solve of the American crossword puzzle tournament final. So a wide variety of things, and that's apart from the normal diet of connections videos. There have been a few align videos, loads going on Patreon. Do check it out. Just loads of brilliant extra content, and we welcome you there, and we welcome you to our apps. Now, today's puzzle doesn't really have relevant, well, maybe Chess Sudoku is relevant. None of the other apps are particularly relevant because we're not doing normal Sudoku rules today. In fact, I've just realised, oh yeah, yesterday was Simon's non-Sudoku day. I was wondering, were we having a day of 2 non-Sudoku puzzles? No, I'm getting confused. This isn't quite a Sudoku. It's quite like a Sudoku. We'll get to that in a moment. The apps do feature Chess Sudoku and many others, including Fog of War. We've got our merchandise as well, including Amber Pitcher's wonderful t-shirt, recognising that 2025 is the year of the secret squared. If you know what that means, you know what it means. We won't be. He dares to say we won't be mentioning the secret during this video, so you'll have to watch another one. And of course, the SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD's also linked under the video, but the first link is to this puzzle. It's called 9 Center Regions. It's by Quiz, who I don't think has featured on the channel before. This came in as a big old recommendation, and we're very grateful to certain people, especially, who recommend puzzles, although I think this was quite somebody we haven't taken a recommendation from before. So it'll be very interesting to see how this goes, especially as it's not a Sudoku, and I will explain the non-Sudoku rules now. Now, to be fair, some Sudoku rules apply, but normal ones don't. We have to fill each empty cell with numbers from 1 to 9, so that each row and column contains 1 to 9 exactly once each. That's normal enough, but you will note there are no marked 3x3 boxes in this puzzle, and if there were, that 7 would contravene them badly. Instead of any regions, and there aren't any mentioned in the rules, this isn't chaos construction, there are no regions, but any area in the puzzle immediately surrounding a 9 contains no repeat digits. So if there was a 9 in this cell, all of these cells would have no repeat digits, so that would be a set of 1 to 9. 9 could be on a perimeter, in which case the area surrounding it is only 6 cells, but none of them are repeats. Or it could be in a corner, in which case the area surrounding it has no repeats. It's a very simple rule to understand. It barely needs me to get out Mr. King, but he's here just in case I forget that basically you can't have 2 digits within a king's move of a 9 that are the same. It's an interesting rule set. I don't know what we're going to find. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know much about the recommender or the recommendee. And I'm going to give it a go now. Let's get cracking. Where do you start with something like this? Because although this is more given digits than we normally get, there are 18 here, which might be enough to solve a regular Sudoku. Nonetheless, they're not very helpful. And you will note, you eagle-eyed lynx you, that there are no 9s and there are also no 1s given. I don't think we're going to have trouble disambiguating 9s and 1s given the rule. However, if it wasn't for this special rule about 9s, that would be really weird, because you could never disambiguate 9s and 1s. We're going to have to find out where 9s go, I presume. Okay, well, let's start with the patently obvious, which is that 9 can never go in a cell with a different digit in. I mean, this really is knowledge bomb territory. But also there are other cells here where 9 can't go. It can't go there because it would be touching 2 2s. The same is true there. It can't go here, 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 or here because it would be touching 2 7s. Here because of 2 3s. This must be right so far. So I'm going to treat this at the start as a puzzle of trying to find out where the 9s do go. I don't think I can rule this cell out or this cell. If these were genuine 3x3 boxes, we'd be absolutely laughing. I'd be filling in 9s willy-nilly at this point, but they're not. Okay, I don't know much more about where 9s don't go, but I do know, in another extraordinary knowledge bomb based on the rule set, that there must be a 9 in row 2. And the only cells I have left to put it in are one of those 3. Same is true in column 2. Are these starting points? They don't feel like starting points. Oh, okay. I've only just now realised an implication of the rule, which is that 9s are obeying the Queen's rule. In a Queen Sudoku, check it out in our chess apps. There are 20 of them there. In a Queen Sudoku, 9s... Oh, no, they don't obey the Queen's rule. I'm sorry. They obey a King's move rule, 9s. Oh, I'm so daft. Right, what I have worked out, and is correct, forget the Queen stuff. That was absolute tripe. What I have worked out is that 9s don't touch each other, because the rule precludes it. Any area in the puzzle immediately surrounding a 9 contains no repeat digits. And it specifies 4, 6 or 9 cells. So that means that 9 is included. So 9 doesn't touch 9 anywhere. Right, these 2 cells can't be 9s because they would touch, if that was a 9, it would touch the 9 in row 2. Same true for that one. Also these 2 for the column 2 9s. So we're branching our green out a tiny bit. I don't know. There might be some knock-ons. Like if that was a 9, that's not a 9. And the same is true for that one. So if that is a 9, that becomes a 9. And then we're limited here. I don't know. I mean, I can see that you might be able to kind of cast your net around the grid and work out where 9s go a bit. I don't think any of the other digits are any help. I mean, oh, 7s. 7s are obviously fixed in rows 1, 2, 3 and columns 1, 2, 3, as well as row 8 and column 8. Now, I was going to say that doesn't really help. It doesn't. But what I was thinking is it doesn't help place the other 7s in the grid. Like there are 5 7s in this region. And they don't have to obey this non-touching rule. So they're not as interesting as 9s, but we have no given 9s. However, I've just realised another implication of the rule. Oh, this is a really big implication of the rule. Right. If 9 went there, the area surrounding it, this is big for all non-perimeter 9s. I'm sorry that it has taken me 5 minutes to get to this point, but I've done it. If 9 was there, where would 7 go in its surrounding area? It would have to be there because there are 9 different cells containing 9 different digits. One of those must be 7. So 9 cannot be there because the 7s are all used up for rows 1, 2, 3. And the same is true for there, and we know where 9 is in row 2. And the same is going to be true in column 2. 9 can't go here or here because 7s can't be in any of these cells immediately surrounding them. So that's a 9. So we're getting 9s done now. Now, that means we can rule out other cells in the same columns, in the same rows, and immediately surrounding those 9s. None of these can have a 9, so we're really getting limited on 9s now. The 9 in row 1 is in one of those two. The 9 in column 1 is in one of those two. The 9 in column 3 is in one of these two, and it needs a 7 touching it, which isn't in columns 1 or 2. It's in one of those 3 cells in column 4. Now we can play this game a bit further. This 9 is surrounded by all the digits that aren't 9. And one of those is 2, but 2 is ruled out of those and those. So one of these, it's also ruled out of that by a 2. So we've got a 2. Now, I'm on the verge of saying that can't be a 9 because it needs a 2. That's nonsense. This can't be a 9 now. That's gorgeous because it would be touching 2 2s. So the 9 in column 1 is in the bottom corner. And we get a bit more green going. Can't do the same with, I can do exactly the same with 2s up here. That can't be a 2 by Sudoku, so we've placed 2 around that 9. Again, we're now dealing in extra regions. We need a 3 in this region, which is in one of those. The 7 is obviously sorted. Those 9s are both touching a 7. I've seemed to have ended up somehow with only one location in row 3. So I'm whacking a 9 in there. Now I can't put a 9 in row 1, column 6, and therefore I've only got one spot in row 1. And now I've got 2 9s in the corners of this puzzle, and I've got 5 9s placed and very limited space for the other 4. And I've still got this weird rule to play around with, which struck me at first as being unbelievably lacking in helpfulness. And now I'm seeing that it's not, but I'm not seeing how it is helpful. So it's strange. This digit I can see C's 9284 in the column, 357 in the row. So that's 1 or 6 by Sudoku rules. I can't say anything else is completely by Sudoku in this puzzle because obviously Sudoku rules don't apply. There's no region rules at all. Is there anything else I can do with the 9? It must be with the 9s. So one of those 2 is a 9. One of these 2 is a 9, definitely. And it has to be surrounded by an 8. Now, we've had the 8s in rows 7 and 9. The 8 in row 8 must touch one of these 9s and is therefore in one of these 2 places. Now my pencil marking is going to become very difficult to interpret at some point because I'm trying to convey 8 is in one of those 2 places in this row and 9 in one of those. But these 7s are in their column. Those 9s are in their column. I could completely fox myself at some point. Now, let's just keep thinking. One of these 9s, there's a 2. It's exactly the same strictures for 8 as for 2. I think this pair must be a 2-8 pair. And this is going to determine where the 9 is. Yeah, whichever one of these is a 9, it needs a 2 touching it. And we've had the 2s in rows 7 and 9. So the 2 touching it in row 8 has to be in one of these 2 cells. And now this is, whatever that is, this is the other digit out of 2 and 8. And is a digit that must be touched by the 9 in this row. So the 9 now has to be here. That's quite a deep deduction for this rule set. Interesting. Now, oh, bingo, yeah, okay, that's not a 9. Now, we've got to put 2 9s. We've placed 6 9s in the grid. There's going to be one there. That's 7. There are 2 more 9s to go in this region, but they mustn't touch each other. So they can't sit in these cells. And therefore, the 9 in row, whatever row this is, row 6, must be there. This cell is not a 9, it's green. This is the 9 in row 7. That's the 9 in row 5. All our 9s are placed. And they form a nice little pattern. It's not a queen's move respecting pattern. That wasn't relevant. They're on the same diagonal. That wasn't actually a truth. That was just me being mental. Right, this cell is naked now. It sees 3, 5, 9, 7, 6, 4, and a 2-8 pair in its row. So that's a 1. That forces this to be a 6, and the last row, the last cell in the row is a 4. And now we're doing Sudoku, but let's not forget these extra regions that we've created. So this 9 needs this group to be an extra region, i.e. all the digits. And we've had 1, 7, 4, 6, 9. We need a 2 that has to be there. We need an 8 that has to be here, and a 3, 5 pair that I can't distinguish. In column 9, that's a 1, 7 pair. Now, how are we getting on with these 9s? This one has 2 and 8 surrounding it. It's going to need a 6 in the bottom row. It's going to need a 4 in row 7, because that 4 is stopping 4 from being in these cells. It's not actually that helpful, annoyingly. Okay, let's have, yeah, okay, that can't be a 3 because of the 3s I've marked in row 1. That can't be a 3 because of that. So this is the 3 in column 2. Those are a 1, 5 pair. Now, what's this 9's region supplying? Not a lot of information, I don't think. I keep on wanting to say 3 can't be there because it's touching a 3. Oh, that does work. Yes, because it would be well, not because it's touching a 3, but because they would both be touching that 9. So that can't be a 3, and that can't be a 3 for the same reason. And in this column, oh, I thought I was going to find it. 3's in one of those 2 cells. Now, I can't really pencil mark that. It'll conflict with the pencil mark for those 2. Okay, we need a 5 around this 9, but that could be here. Oh, I don't know. I don't really know how to progress. What's this? Right, there are limits on this. In fact, I think this might be a naked single again. In the row, we've got 2, 8. We've got a 4 in one of those positions, and 6, 9. In the column, we've got 5 and 7. So this is 1 or 3. But we do know it can't be 3 because that would put 2 3s around this 9. So it's a 1. It is a form of naked single. And now around this we've got 2, 3, 8, 1. The other digits are 4, 5, 6, 7. That one is 4 or 6. One of these is 7, but one of them is 5 as well. Let's try this column now. 9, 1, 5, 2, 7. This is 4 or 8. This puzzle works quite weirdly, doesn't it? Oh, that 9 needed a 3 surrounding it. I hadn't spotted that. There's only one place for the 3 to go now. So that is not a 3. That is 6 or 8 from the column that time. Okay, let's have a look around this. We've got 9, 2, 7. We're going to have a 3 here. 5 is in one of those cells in column 4 from a pencil mark to do with that 9. So 5 can't be in either of those 2, and it must be in one of these 2. And that's a sort of X-wing with the 5s that we've located in column 2. So that's going to use up the 5s for rows 1 and 3. And the 5 for row 2, I want to say it's there, but it might be here still. I can't prove it's not there as far as I can see. Oh, no, I was going to say there has to be a 3 in this region. That is not true. In fact, there isn't a 3 in that region. Okay, in this column, we've got 5, 7, and 8 to place. So, at the bottom we can't have an 8, and there we can't have a 7. I shouldn't be doing Sudoku. I should be doing, oh look, that 3 is looking into the final column. Oh, that's Sudoku. I should be looking at these regions around the 9s, so that can't be 8, because that's already got an 8. So that is the 8 in column 7. So I need to combine looking at these regions with a bit of Sudoku row and column work. 3 around this 9 seems to only have one location. How am I doing on 3s in the grid? I've got the middle 7 rows filled with 3s. And then there's a 3 up there somewhere and a 3 down here somewhere. Little X-wing remaining. Right, these digits are 4, 5, and 7 in some order. And they're obviously around this 9. So this 9 then needs 1, 3, and 6 in these cells. Yeah, that's very helpful. This becomes a 5, 7 pair, and I know which way round they are very clearly. Now that's a 5 to complete the column. This region around this 9 has got 2, 3, 5, 8, 9. We need 1, 4, 6, and 7. Those were, well, we've only got 1, 4, 6 to place in this column. That's not a 5 though. This is the 5 in row 2. Now this can't be a 5 because of the, oh hang on, something's gone wrong. This 9 has got 2 5s around it, so I've messed up somewhere. I am having a very hard time determining how recent that mess up is. That has arisen because I wanted this 9 to have a 5 around it somewhere. Oh man, I don't know how far I have to go back in this. This is quite annoying. I'm going back a long way. I'm going back a long way, but I mean, I'm going to be doing some of the same deductions again. Let's go back all the way to this row here, which was very helpful. In fact, let's go back all the way. No, the 9s were fine. They were definitely right. That really felt right. Okay, then I said that in this row, or maybe I got the 9 here because it had to be, yeah, that was it. That was how we got the 9. So I'm going back to here. We said that 2 and 8 had to touch the 9 that appears in one of these cells, and they had to do it in row 8, and they had to therefore be in those cells because 9 was in one of those two, and therefore this had to be the 9. That's all definitely right. Even though I obviously didn't click the right cells at first. Okay, then what I did, it's very odd how I filled this in. Oh, I worked out because 9 was there that it was placed in row 5. Okay, yes, oh yes, I was working out that they were separate. I don't know exactly how I don't remember doing it in this order. I mean, I must have done. I suppose I knew the 9s were there. Right, and we had the 2 8. So let's just go back to that point. This digit, I said, had to be 1 or 6. 7, 9, 2, 8, 4, 3, 5. That's true. In this row, I knew that had to be 9. So we've got 1, 6, and 4 to place, and that has to be a 1 as a result. So that fixes the row. Then I said there was a 2 here. What was that based on? That was based on this 9 needing 2, 3, 5, 8 around it. Is it possible that the software hasn't recorded my colouring as I did it? It's very odd. It's not like the software to do that. I don't really understand. Anyway, after that, we placed the 2, we placed the 8. They're both right. Then there's a 3-5 pair. Then there's a 1-7 pair in the final column. I haven't done anything wrong yet. We know where the 9 is here. And 6 has to touch it somewhere down there. And 4 has to touch it somewhere up there. That's all solid. Now I turned to column 2. And I'm placing 1, 3, 5. And I said 3 couldn't be there because there had to be a 3 around this 9. That still seems definitely true. 3 couldn't be there because of that, so it had to be here, and this is a 1-5 pair. Spot on. Now, what am I doing here? I'm saying that has to be a 1. Because I know there's a 9 in this cell, although again, I don't understand why the software isn't recording it. But this 9 can't have a 3 here. Hang on, what's going on? I'd said this was 1 or 3, because I've got 4 in one of those cells surrounding that 9. 2, 8, 4, 6, 9, 7, 5. So that's right. But it also can't be 3, because that's a 9 and would be touching 2 3s. So that's a 1. It's very odd that the software seems to have forgotten that I did identify the colours, that those 2 cells are 9s. Yeah, okay, let's just take over manually from here. I've been clicking tick again. I don't really understand quite what the software is doing, but anyway. Now, that's 4 or 6. So then I'm looking up this column. That's 4 or 8 because of everything else it sees. I wanted to place a 3 around this 9, and it has to be there. If I come up with exactly the same problem I had before, it's going to be distressing, but it means I've got something wrong earlier. That 3 has fixed 5 here and 3 there. These are now 4, 5, 7, 2, 9, 8, 1, 3, 6. So these are 5, 7. I still feel that's right. Here we have a 5, 8 pair, but that 9 already touches an 8. I'm going to get in exactly the same problem in a moment, I think. This cell can't be 6. We've got 1, 4, 6 to place in this column. Not sure, that's 6 or 8. Now this is where I got into the problem. So I said we've got a 5 around this 9. This 9 needs a 5 around it too. That 5 had to be in one of these cells, and here's where my problem is going to come. That can't be 5. So the 5 in this row, I thought it had to be in one of those 2 cells. And do you know what? I think I was using some sort of hangover from ordinary Sudoku, because I'd seen the 5 X-wing on those 2. And I thought, well, the third 5 has to be over this side of the grid. But it doesn't. It could be there. The 5 in row 2. I think that's where I've made the mistake. Well, that's a relief, because at least it's a mistake that I understand having made. So I tried to put a 5 here and something went wrong. Let's go more slowly. I'm really sorry about the error, but it's an odd puzzle. It makes you think differently. Now this 9 needs a 3 around it. We do know where that goes. I did that before. How many 3s have I got? Those are the middle 7 rows of 3s. Then we've got a 3 there and a 3 there. And that's all genuine. In fact, this is a 4, 5, 7 group. So this is a 1, 3, 6 group. And that's true. So let's just fill in the candidates and take out the corner marks. And the same's true here. 4, 5, and 7. Let's take out those corner marks because they're just annoying me now. That's a 4, 5, 7 triple. Now I did say there had to be a 5 here around this one, and that's why we've got 5 in one of those two. That's fine. This is not a 5. But I'm not allowed to make the presumption that this is a 5, because that could be, even though it feels like it's touching the 5 over there. It doesn't matter at all. That's what I did wrong, I think. Let's hope that's all I did wrong. Okay, so this 9 needs 4, 5, 6, 7 in these cells. This 9 needs a 7 in one of these two. Yeah. And that rules 7 out of there. In fact, how are we doing on 7s? Oh, we've only got the 4 givens and 1 other placed. There's going to be 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. It's not that helpful. Or is it? This 9 needs a 7, which is either there or there. And therefore this is a 1. Okay, so we get another 7. That can't be 1. So one of those two is a 7. And one of those 3. And one of these 2. I think, yeah, these are, well, hang on. Why did I say one of these 3? Yes, it can't be there. Yeah, these are the only 7s remaining in the puzzle. They're in these areas. Now, which 9 needs a 7 and is threatening not to get it? I don't know. I don't think that works. Right. I mean, I don't think it's failed. I just don't think it provides the next step. This 9 has got 3, 8, 5, 2. It needs a 7 in one of those two cells. This is going to have to be 1 or 4 because it sees a 6. So now I've got a 1, 4 pair in the row, and I can write an 8 in here and a 5 over here, which is not illegal. That finishes column 3. This 9 now needs a 5 surrounding it. That has to be there. And it then needs 1, 6, 8 in this group of cells, which is going to enable me to fill row 6, column 1 with a 4. This is a group of cells that is 1, 6, 7. I thought I knew something about what... Oh, that 1 is touching that 9 already. Oh, that 4 is also touching that 9. So this group of cells is 5, 6, 7 in this column. That one's 5 or 6. So that's a 5, 6, 7 triple. That's not 6. 5, 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 4, see that, so that's 3 or 8. 2, 3, 8, see that, so that's 1 or 4. 1, 3. Oh, I thought that was going to give me something. I've got this weird 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 quintuple, which might have a triple or a quad in it, but I can't see it. So what about this? 8 is already touching this red 9, so that's a 3. Now I can do some of this column. That's a 1, that's a 4. And then I'm left with a 2, 8 pair. That 1 has fixed 6 and 3 at the bottom. That 6 stops that being a 6. The 3 is done at the top. These top 2 cells are a 5, 8 pair, but that 9's already got its 8. So that's 5, that's 8. This is a 1 to complete the ring around there. That makes this 6, 8, 1 down the first column. That's become a 2. That's an 8. That's a 2. This 9 has 2, 1, 3, 8, 5. So that's a 4. Then we have 6 and 7 here. We know the order from down the bottom. It does your head in a bit. That is a clever puzzle. I know I botched it a bit, but I think it's because you get so used to doing Sudoku that when you're suddenly not doing it, it's very discombobulating. So, just before I hit the last digit, let's do the 9s as we go up the grid. This 9 has no repeat digits around it. This one's going to get a 5, it's fine. This one is a full set of 1 to 9. This one is a full set of 1 to 9. So is this one. So is this one. So is this one. And so is this one. And this doesn't have any repeat digits. So there we go. That is the solution to the 9 center regions. Half an hour. And I feel like I wasn't brilliant there, was I? I'd be very interested to know if some of you found this quite straightforward and others found it really, really head-scratchingly weird and difficult. Because I think it's quite a binary puzzle. But it's very clever. And I do like puzzles that are clever. And I do just like solving puzzles. Can't help it. It's part of the way we are. Thank you for watching. I think that was an interesting one. And thank you to whoever recommended it to us. And well done to Quiz. Well, I don't know how to pronounce it because I think I saw that this was 3 important letters from a Chinese name that I couldn't pronounce. See you again soon. Thanks for watching us on the channel, and bye for now.